I thought it would be the funniest birthday gift ever. A cheap DNA test kit, just for laughs. My sister said we'd compare our ancestry results and see who had the weirder family tree. We laughed. We took the test. We mailed the kits. 3 weeks later. One email destroyed everything I believed about my family. My name is Ethan, and I'm 27 years old. I grew up in what I thought was the perfect family. My parents had been married for over 30 years. My younger sister Emma was my best friend. We had family dinners every Sunday, vacations every summer, and absolutely no major drama. Or at least, that's what I believed. Everything started during Emma's birthday party. She had seen a bunch of funny DNA videos online and ordered 2 kits. Come on, she laughed. Let's see if we're secretly Vikings or royalty. Everyone thought it was hilarious. Even my mom smiled. Only one person didn't. My dad. He forced a smile, but I noticed his hands shaking. I assumed he hated giving away personal information online. Nothing more. We sent the samples. Then forgot about them. Until 23 days later. I opened my email during lunch. Your DNA results are ready. I clicked. At first, everything looked normal. Mostly Irish. A little German. Some Scandinavian. Then I opened the family match section. Emma. Shared DNA. 24.8%. I frowned. That wasn't right. The website labeled her as half-sister. I refreshed the page. Nothing changed. I logged out. Logged back in. Same result. I actually laughed. There must be a bug. I called customer support. The woman politely explained. Our tests are over 99% accurate. Then she asked a question I'll never forget. Sir, has anyone in your family ever been adopted? My heart stopped. I whispered. No. Part 2, the truth starts to crack. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept refreshing the DNA website, hoping the results would magically change. They never did. Emma wasn't my full sister. She was my half-sister. There was only one explanation. Either my mom or my dad was hiding a secret. The next morning, I drove straight to Emma's apartment. She opened the door with a huge smile. So, are we cousins with a king? I couldn't smile back. Instead, I turned my phone toward her. Read this. Her smile disappeared. For almost a full minute, she didn't say a single word. Finally, she whispered. This has to be fake. I called the company, I replied. They said the results are accurate. Emma sat down on the couch. Neither of us spoke. The silence felt heavier than anything I'd ever experienced. Then she looked up. We need another test. I agreed immediately. If the first one was wrong, the second one would prove it. 2 days later, we visited a professional genetics clinic. Blood samples. Identity verification. No mistakes. The technician told us the results would take about 10 days. Those 10 days felt like 10 years. Every family dinner became awkward. I kept watching my parents. Mom acted completely normal. Dad, however. He barely looked at me. Whenever I mentioned the DNA test, he'd suddenly change the subject. It was so obvious that even Emma noticed. On the 9th day, Dad unexpectedly called me. Can we meet? His voice sounded defeated. We met at a small park where he used to take me fishing as a kid. He didn't even sit down. He just stared at the lake. Finally, he spoke. If those results come back, there are things you deserve to know. I felt my stomach tighten. What things? He closed his eyes. I promised someone I'd never tell you. My heart was racing. Tell me anyway. Before he could answer, his phone rang. It was Mom. He looked at the screen, rejected the call, then looked back at me. I can't do this. He walked away, leaving me with more questions than answers. The next morning, the clinic emailed us. Your results are ready. Emma and I opened the report together. Every word felt like a hammer. Probability of full siblings, 0%. Probability of half siblings, 99.999%. Neither of us could breathe. Then we saw one more line. One sentence that changed everything. The biological relationship is consistent with sharing the same mother, but different fathers. Emma slowly looked at me. Tears filled her eyes. So, Dad isn't your biological father. And at that exact moment, my phone started ringing. It was my mother. I answered. Before I could say a word, she whispered through tears. Please come home, it's time you knew the truth. Part 3, The Truth My Mother Hid for 27 Years, Final. I drove home faster than I ever had. The entire way, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Every childhood memory replayed in my head. Dad teaching me to ride a bike, helping with homework, cheering at every soccer game. If he wasn't my biological father, then who was? When I walked into the house, my mom was already crying. Dad sat silently at the dining table, staring at the floor. No one spoke for what felt like forever. Finally, Mom took a deep breath. There was something I never wanted you to know. I met your biological father before I met your dad. He was charming, until he became controlling. When I found out I was pregnant, he disappeared. I was completely alone. A few months later, she met the man I had always called Dad. She told him everything. She even offered to raise the baby by herself. But he looked at her and said, "If I marry you, that baby will be my son. Not by blood, by choice." I couldn't hold back my tears. Dad finally looked at me. "I never wanted you to feel different. I signed every document. I was there the day you were born. I changed your diapers. I stayed awake when you were sick. You've always been my son." At that moment, I realized something. DNA had uncovered the truth. But it hadn't changed the man who had spent 27 years loving me. A week later, I received an unexpected message. Someone claiming to be my biological father had found me through the DNA website. He wanted to meet. He wrote, "I know I made mistakes. I want a second chance." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I walked into the living room. Dad was fixing an old photo frame. The same photo frame that held a picture of me sitting on his shoulders when I was 5 years old. He looked up and smiled. "Everything okay, son?" Son. One simple word. That was my answer. I went back to my phone and typed only one sentence. "Thank you for reaching out. I wish you well, but the man who raised me is my father. I already have a dad." I pressed send. For the first time in weeks, I felt at peace. A month later, Emma laughed and said, "I guess that silly birthday DNA test wasn't such a great joke after all." I smiled. It wasn't. It just reminded me that family isn't built by shared DNA. It's built by shared love. Moral of the story: blood may reveal where you came from, but love reveals who your real family is.